Hi, and welcome back to Moose Jaw This Week. I'm Lyle Johnson, your host, and we're back for another season here at Shaw TV. And I thought I had a great summer away out in the Okanagan and Vernon with Army cadets. I thought the way we'd start the day off and the year off is to have a little bit of color, a little bit of pizzazz. And so I'm talking to a couple of young women from Peacock Collegiate who are in grade 12 here. And this, of course, is Muscular Dystrophy Month. And they are at school today is Neon Day. So that's why I thought this was particularly colorful. So Justine, welcome.
Hello.
And Shaelyn.
Hi.
Now, these two young people have been involved at different levels and in different ways with muscular dystrophy and with fundraising and with leadership. So I'm going to start off a little bit away from this because Justine was, of course, a representative in the Miss Teen
South Central Saskatchewan.
Which you were.
I still am until December. I hold that title. So with that, I competed in Toronto this summer at the Miss Teen Canada competition.
And one of the things that this is somewhat different, it's of course, there are your brains, your looks, your intelligence are all part of the thing, but you also have to be involved with sponsorship and awareness in the community.
Yeah, each girl has a platform that they bring with them to the national stage, sort of. And mine was spinal muscular atrophy, which falls under the muscular dystrophy umbrella, and it's what my best friend over there has. So through my time, especially prior to the pageant, I worked really hard to bring awareness to spinal muscular atrophy in Moose Jaw. I held a big fundraiser, and then following the pageant, even in August, we followed through. August was Spinal Muscular Atrophy Awareness Month, so we had some fun with that and been meeting with the mayor. It's just been a big journey through it all.
Well, great, and that's a pretty positive thing that they do to get you guys being community and culturally aware.
Yeah, absolutely. Every girl has an attachment to her platform, and it just brought more meaning to it all for every single one of us.
And of course, a Saskatchewan girl ended up winning the overall Miss. You have to say that the proper way. So
that's right. Jill Martin, who held the title of Miss Teen Saskatchewan 2013, went on and she won the pageant and is now Miss Teen Canada 2013. So that was very exciting that she won after. The Saskatchewan girls were very close because, say, from Ontario there was 20 girls, but from Saskatchewan there were 7 of us. And in the time before the pageant and even after, we all kept very close in touch. And so it was really exciting to see her win that. She's very deserving.
Well, that's good. And of course, Sierra Birchall from Moose Jaw won that title a few years before.
Yeah.
And she kind of said, you should do this.
Yeah, she was a mentor for all of us. I know that Jill got very close with her, and Savannah Walker, who was Miss Teen Saskatchewan 2012, she was close with all of us, and she actually now holds the title of top model of the world. She went to Egypt to compete for that, so just a lot of great Saskatchewan girls out there.
Is that your future now, to be a model?
I'm not sure. We'll see where things take me. Just focusing on getting through grade 12 right now.
Which is important. Now, Shaelyn, you got spinal
muscular atrophy, and I have type 2. There's 4 different types now. They just came out with the 4th type, which is just like some minor muscle weakness. And then there's type 3, which you usually walk. Most of them walk till their teenage years, and then that's when they slowly become weaker. And then there's type 2, which are in a wheelchair from when they're born and are weak but still have some upper body movement. And then type 1 is completely confined to a chair with very minor movement. They have some trouble breathing and eating, but they have those types, but everyone kind of has different characteristics. Like, I did walk until I was 8, so I have type 3 characteristics, but I'm considered a type 2.
I remember you running around school here when your dad was teaching here, and you in the auditorium causing a little bit of grief.
Yes, I'm sure. I love the auditorium, so I'm sure I was there lots when I was little.
Now, of course, you said it's your, is it disease? Is that the proper word?
Yeah, it's my disease is genetic, so I got it. My mom and dad both carry the gene, and so I had a 1 in 4 chance of getting the disease. And so my brother doesn't have it, but I did get it.
Okay, and So you've come here to high school. You've been 4 years in high school, and very much involved with this. This has maybe slowed you down moving, but it hasn't slowed you down moving. I remember doing a play with you in your wheelchair, and you caused a lot of havoc with that.
Yeah, I'm very involved in the school. I don't like to let it stop me from doing anything. So I'm part of the SGA, and I've been in plays and one acts and fall play, the musical. I've slowed down a bit with that. I've managed volleyball and basketball, and yeah, I'm a big part of the SGA. I have been for 4 years.
And you have your friends who recruit you when they need a good worker.
Yes, I like doing stuff with my friends. So if I can't participate, then I like to find a different way I can.
And of course, this part of the muscular dystrophy family of diseases.
Yeah, muscular dystrophy is any muscle weakness that's genetic.
Okay. So yeah, as I was telling you before we went on, my boss in BC, who's in the military, has muscular dystrophy, a very low level of it. But it's going to eventually get to the point where he'll be asked to leave the military because he's not able to perform as a professional soldier. But it's kind of funny, how we look at life and we say, Moose Jaw is a small place. Well, his best friend in all the military is a guy from Moose Jaw named Paul Franker, who went to Peacock here, and they're buddies. And so he was quite impressed when I said, well, yeah, I know this guy. So he asked him, and the kids, oh yeah, that's my drama teacher from high school. So it's kind of fun. Now, what's happening this month with Muscular Dystrophy Month? What events are happening? Today there was a thing here at Peacock that you guys were doing.
Yeah, today Shaelyn in her entrepreneurship class had a competition selling, and selling their product, and all the money is going to muscular dystrophy. So that all kind of started. Shaelyn and I met with the Mayor Deb Higgins at the end of August and signed a proclamation that September will be Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Month in South Central Saskatchewan for 2013. So that was sort of our first big thing, and then we're away next week on an SGA retreat, but when we return, we're hoping to do just sort of an awareness day, not necessarily asking for money this time, but just getting people to wear red and black, which is our colors, and maybe bring in a few push chairs and have some fun in the gym with those.
Some warriors too, if it's red and black.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can do there.
Yeah, that's their colors. So.
That's true. The firefighters too. We could get them involved.
The firefighters seem to be, of course, it's a national program for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they're nationally joined with muscular dystrophy and bringing awareness to it. That's there.
So maybe they'll come into a camera shoot for their calendars up there.
We'll see. I don't know if we could talk them into that or not, but it'd be great to have them involved.
Yeah, and of course, the local fire department is very active in that kind of involvement in the community. So, tell me about your involvement with the firefighters. Have you had much, activities with them?
Well, in August, we were at Safeway with their Making Muscles Move campaign, and they have the Safeway Mobility Grant, which is through muscular dystrophy, and they've provided equipment for people all over Canada and money to help with medical expenses and everything. And so we were there, and the firefighters were involved with that. So we met some of them there. That was our first thing with them, and I've been in contact with them since then, and we're hoping to plan a few things throughout the year to bring more awareness to muscular dystrophy.
Getting you around, of course, your dad has to have a van that's specially designed.
Yeah, so right now we have Big Blue. It's a nice, huge blue van, and so that's, my friends drive it, my parents drive it, but I can't drive it, and that's the one thing I really want to do. Oh no, I'm ready to drive. So through Safeway and the Making Muscles Move campaign, they have given me some money and Telemiracle, and we're working to get enough money together for me to get a vehicle that I can drive. So yeah, all the people throughout Saskatchewan, there's a lot of great foundations that help with things like that, because my vehicle is $100,000 for a vehicle I can drive. So that's just one example of how crazy expensive things are when you're living with a disability.
And 1 year, it was a really special thing. Your dad won the 50-50 draw at the Riders Labor Day game.
He did, yeah. He won $25,000 that year, and I was in grade 3. So I was still standing and walking around a bit, so it wasn't a lot of medical stuff we needed then. So that was more spent on family holidays and stuff like that. But yeah, that was nice when he won that.
And of course, you said Big Blue,
Yes.
which anybody who's been around the school has seen that. Do you drive it?
Oh, I drive Big Blue all the time. That van, I have a love-hate relationship with it. It's coming down to its end, though. It's been everywhere. BC every summer, ridiculous amount of kilometers on it, and it's falling apart, but it still gets us around.
Well, that's great. So anything else happening in this month that people could maybe be aware of in the month of September, which is Muscular Dystrophy Month for Canada? Are there any events or things that people could participate in here in Moose Jaw?
In Moose Jaw, nothing major besides sort of the work that we're doing here at the school, because it is just this year, just this month, that we have declared it Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Month. So,
Good initiative.
yeah, it's exciting. It was definitely a cool thing to do, something I'll always remember.
Well, I'm hoping so. Well, ladies, thank you for bringing some color to our opening show. The school was kind of filled with pink and green and all sorts of neon today, which was really nice. And best of luck with this. And thank you for getting involved.
Well, thank you for having this interview and showing what we're doing, putting it out there some more.
And I'm kind of torn about the car thing, but that's just a personal safety thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's been cool getting to get all this muscular dystrophy awareness and SMA awareness out. So even if I don't end up with a vehicle to drive, this year's been great working with Justine and doing all this stuff.
Well, thanks. And when we come back, we're going to talk about something else that's happening in our community. And of course, it's our MP and what's happening with politics. And so we'll be seeing Ray Bowen after these breaks. So don't go away.